All right, Shalom. Huh? Yeah, I'm too wild. We gotta ask some brothers. Shalom, y'all by Shem y'all Shabbarakatham. Y'all Shamar Lathan by Shem y'all Shad. Everybody on the line can hear me? Alright. Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge started out of West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Back in 1969, we are the commanding General YAHANNA, not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group on the planet. We are not affiliated with the damn Proud Boys, especially. We're not affiliated with, no other blackity black group that's so-called righteous, no religion. We're not affiliated with any of that, all right? So we got Monday class. You know what I'm saying? We always do this. This is Truth 101. So people still call it the milk class. You come in here and learn the basics about what we teach in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. I am Priest and Officer Kazak Damar. Back home in Duval County. You know what I'm saying? Got my officer in here, the troopers. Y'all here with me. We're going to go ahead and get it in. You know what I'm saying? Get some of this. Anybody got any questions?
Salaka.
Go ahead.
Is tilapia lawful and what fishes are lawful?
Y'all have a y'all hear the brother on the line? Anybody on the line? I just fell out the truth. Huh? Anybody on the line? Can y'all hear the question the brother asked or no?
No, sir.
All right, the brother asked, is tilapia lawful and what fish are lawful, right?
Salaka, sir.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Get rid of that. You was finna answer the question?
Well, I got a precept with an answer.
Oh yeah, I got it. Let me get it. Where you at, Leviticus?
11:11.
Yeah, let me get Deuteronomy chapter 14. No, 15. Might be 14. 14 to 15. I like to go there first. If nobody else ever use it, make sure, the Lord don't precept. Whoa. Slow down. I've been drinking water all day. Chill out, man. Hell wrong with you? Trying to get me together. Nah,
I'm asking.
You can drink some water. Anybody got the precept?
Salaka. Deuteronomy what?
Hold on, let me get there.
He was
Shit.
just playing.
I was serious. Deuteronomy chapter 14. We can start at verse 1.
Wakana.
Let's go.
Ye are the children of the Most High.
Tell them where you at before you start reading.
Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 1.
Everybody on the line can hear the brother? Y'all say y'all couldn't hear him last time. You can come a little closer. All right, no sweat. I think Moses the only one called in. Go ahead,
Ye are the children of the Most High, your power. Ye shall not cut yourselves, nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead.
Mm-hmm.
For thou art a holy people unto the Most High, thy power. And the Most High hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people.
What? Go ahead.
unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth.
What does this sound like? Anybody ever heard this before? What does it sound like? What that sound like, Marshall Moore? I asked if it was officer. You must have just got in. What it sound like? Sound just like it, right? This is Deuteronomy 14. Now he starts off by saying, you are the children of the Most High, your power. You shall not cut yourselves or make any baldness between your eyes for the dead, for thou art a holy people. It's like basically taping up your eyebrows, putting on tattoos, different things like that, cutting yourselves, making engravements, getting stamps for your fraternity, all these different things. You can't do none of that, all right? You are the Lord's. And then it goes back and says the same thing as saying in Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For you are peculiar, your Lord has chosen you to be a peculiar people above all nations on the face of the earth. Now, this is the reason why. So if you ask a white man, can they eat crabs? Can they eat lobster? Can they eat catfish, tilapia, anything? Can they? Absolutely, they can. Because the Lord never gave them these laws, but he did give them to you. Now, you're going to follow them because they for yours. They your laws, right? He gave them to you. Go ahead to verse 3.
Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 3. Thou shalt not eat any abominable thing. These are the beasts which ye shall eat: the ox, the sheep, and the goat, the hart, and the roebuck, and the fallow deer.
All right, so just stop right there. It's going to go through the whole, the law of what you can eat and what you could not. Go down to verse 9.
These ye shall eat of all that are in the waters. All that have fins and scales shall ye eat.
Read that again.
These ye shall eat of all that are in the waters. All that have fins and scales shall ye eat.
So what fish are lawful?
So like any fish with fins and scales.
Okay. Do tilapia have fins?
Come.
Do it have scales?
Come.
Does catfish have fins?
Come.
Does it have scales? I know. It's unlawful. It has fins, but it don't have scales.
Yeah.
It has like a skin type outside. You get a fish and you got to scale it, then it's got scales. Most fish have fins because that's how they breathe under the water. Tuna, they say it has a This is what Esau tell you though. Esau says tuna has microscopic scales. You can't see them. That's what they say. But it's down there the same skin that a catfish have on it is what a tuna is. So if you looked up a tuna, the Jewish society might say that a tuna is lawful, right? But you ain't never seen nobody scale no tuna.
Mahi.
Mahi, what about it?
Some mahi does have scales.
That's tuna?
It's a spawn of tuna.
Right.
It's in between tuna and some mahi comes from the dolphin family, some comes from the tuna family.
And dolphins don't have scales.
I'm saying, but some of the mahi does have fins and scales.
If you scale them, then that's fine. But the tuna that you're going by at the can ain't gonna be mahi, right? Okay, Most High Christ. Most people never really see the fish that they eating anyway. You know what I'm saying? By the time you get the fish, they done took all the bones out. They done took the skin off. They done did everything. It's just a fillet, right? So you ain't gotta know. You gotta be very careful. You want to look this stuff up. You want to get a credible source. If you don't know, ask your camp leader. Just like the brother asked. No, you can't. You can't eat tuna. We just gonna strike all of it out the way. If you don't know, then don't eat it. You know what I'm saying? So, but tilapia has fins and scales. A lot of bougie black people that stop eating tilapia because it's farm raised, and they hear the things about what the tilapia eat and all this stuff, and they raised around pigs, and the pigs do this and do all that. Well, the Lord created ecosystems, and that's the whole point of the scales and the fins, is to keep the thing clean. No shellfish you can eat if you keep reading all of this. Know what I'm saying? Go ahead to verse 10 real quick.
And whatsoever have not fins and scales ye may not eat. It is unclean unto you.
There it is right there. So, you know what I'm saying? All the stuff that I used to like, scallops and shrimp and oysters and crabs and snow crabs and all that, none of that has fins and scales. It's all scavengers. It's all unclean. It's all the things that the Lord put in the water to keep the water clean. So therefore, it eats all the dead stuff. You're not supposed to eat it, all right? But as far as a fish, even though tilapia is like a mixture between two fish, they done bred it, and it's like a, what they call it, a hybrid fish, and all of that. It still has fins and scales. You know what I'm saying? The fish that they got from Africa and the other fish that they mated it with, or however the hell they did it, it's still lawful because it has fins and scales. All right. All right. Any other questions?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Is there a such thing as an unlawful animal as a pet? Like, can you have, or can you not have a certain animal, or I'll say insect, rodent?
Nah, you can have any animal as you want as a pet. You can have a pet pig, a pet snake. You can have whatever kind of pet you want, right? If that animal dies, you touch it, you're unclean. Or if you eat it, it's a sin. Yeah. Well, you know, a dog is unlawful to eat, but you rub the dog, you ain't unclean, you didn't eat it. It's not dead. The dog die, you pick it up, you're unclean till the end of sundown. So, nah, it's not. Any other questions?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Can you break down? I understand. I really don't know if this is a class setting question, but I understand the part where it says there will be fishers of men, and then I understand that part because in the I.S.U.P.K we're doing the fishing when we go to camp and we pass out flyers. But I want to get a breakdown of pretty much what does it mean when it says, and then I'll send hunters, and then how is that? Like, what do that have to do with us? Like, where do I like look to find out what do I need to do? You know.
All right, you got the scripture?
Sir.
Yeah, go ahead and find the scripture, and then we'll go to it. All right. Any other questions? All right, while the brothers finding it, go ahead and give me 1 Corinthians 3 and 2, Yama.
Go.
1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 2. I have fed you with milk and not with meat.
So this is Paul. He's talking to the church of Corinth, which are the Israelites, right, that was scattered over in that area. He was going, and he had some of them that he was bringing into the truth, teaching them the truth about Yahawashi, what it meant, how you come back into the fold, how do you become an Israelite again and stop being a Corinthian? How do you become an Israelite again and stop being an African American, a Haitian, a Puerto Rican, right? And come back to the tribes and get your stuff back. Well, here's the thing. Paul wasn't bombarding them with a whole bunch of deep stuff. You know about Christ. When Christ came, he said, unless you become as one of these babes, you cannot enter into the kingdom of heaven. I mean, this thing got to be easy. You got to make it very cut and dry, whatever it is. And Paul was telling them, I have fed you with milk. Keep going.
And not with meat. For hitherto ye were not able to bear it. Neither yet now are ye able.
Because up until now, you was not able to handle all the deep things, all what they say, it was given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but unto you is not given, right? What you need to know is, just like what the brother asking, what can I eat? What can I do? Who can I sleep with? Who can I not sleep with? What is the proper way to do this? How do I deal with my family? How do I deal with death? How do I deal with, pets? What type of TV shows should I look at? This is the stuff that you need to do, that you're going to come in contact with every day. Knowing how many times your house shot have been here ain't going to help you tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, when somebody try to pass you a joint. Or it ain't going to help you tomorrow when some other man's old woman try to give you some. You understand? Not going to help you tomorrow, sis, when the brother at your job is a lot more sexy and listens to you way better than your husband does. What you're going to have to know is the law, statutes, and commandments. You're going to have to know thou shalt not. And that's what we do here every Monday night. I ain't feeding you with no meat. I'm feeding you with milk. Because up until now, you couldn't even get to the point where you ready to receive the stuff that's all deep and heavy. What you need is the stuff to get you started, get you on a solid foundation to serving the Lord. Because we ain't never had that. Nobody ever taught it to us. All right, everybody understand? All right, you got the scripture?
Come on, sir. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 16 and verse 16.
Let me get that with you up. Jeremiah 16 and 16. It's Isaiah. I think I left my place. Let me see here. All right, go ahead and start at verse 14.
Come on, sir. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Most High, that it shall no more be said, the Most High liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Most High liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from the lands whither he had driven them.
All right, so stop right there. What we about to do in April 24th, out on Player Street in Houston, Texas, at the BH Ranch, is celebrate when the Lord brought us up out of Egypt with his mighty hand. He took the most powerful army on the face of the earth, and he allowed them to not even to be able to defeat their servants. We didn't have no guns. We didn't have no weapons. All we had was the Lord on our side. And when we walked up out of Egypt, after they gave them a plague and killed their firstborn, Pharaoh said, you know what, y'all get up out of here. And as we was leaving, saw all the employees for all their businesses, all the workers, all the people who was building and doing everything, saw them leaving and was like, no, this is a problem. So he came back after them. He drowned all the army in the Red Sea that tried to come after the Israelites and allowed them to walk over the Red Sea on dry ground. They get over there, sent them off into the wilderness. And we still celebrate this in 2021. It said, it shall be in your memory forever. It shall be a sign forever that the Lord loved you and he brought you up out of there, right? So now, in this scripture, it's saying, right, the day is going to come, saith the Lord, that it shall be no more said that the Most High liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But that ain't now, because we still saying that, right? But the Lord is going to bless us up out of this captivity the same way. But what they're going to say is the Lord, the Most High liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north. And that land is the land that we in right now. It's North America, right? This is where the Lord is going to bring us out the same way. It's also the lands that's in, around. It's saying that it's going to be a new thing that we're going to celebrate. And that's the Lord bringing us up out of another captivity, which is the one that we in right now. All right. And from all the lands, whether he had driven them. And I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. Go ahead to verse 16.
Come on. Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Most High, and they shall fish them. And after I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain, and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks.
Keep going.
For my eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from my eyes.
Keep going.
And first I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double, because they have defiled my land. They have filled my inheritance with the carcass of their detestable and abominable things.
So now here's where we at. Behold, I will send for many fishers. right? This is the gathering of the children of Israel right now that you see happening in the I.S.U.P.K. Is us going out and saying, you know what? I done learned the truth, but I'm not going to be selfish with this truth to just give it to my wife and my kids. I'm going to go and get my brothers, and I'm going to try to teach this thing to them so that they can learn how to teach other brothers. This is how you build a government from within. You putting your family back together, what the Lord originally had us doing. Right? So this is the fishing part of it. That's what we doing. That's what passing out flyers is. That's what, you know, being on the Facebook, doing the classes, on YouTube. All of this is for us to find people that's in the 12 tribes of the lost 12 tribes of Israel and to bring them back into the fold. Somebody give me John 1 and 12. John 1 and 12. Now, you already got it? Go ahead. What it say?
John chapter 1 verse 12. But as many as received him.
Go back up to 11.
Verse 11. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of the power.
So now, if he's the son of God and I'm the son of God, then that's my brother. Who is my mother? Who is my brother? Those that do the will of my father, the same as my mother and father and brother. It says, I'm giving you precepts on this, but this is the whole point, is to bring us back into being a family again, right? And they shall fish them. After the fishing, now we got a government. Now we got a structure. Now we got rank and order. Now we got discipline. Now we got all the things that we need to be successful as a nation. As opposed to just putting a whole bunch of niggas together like, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? Now we got a head. You know what I'm saying? We got somebody to follow. Something happen to them, then somebody's gonna step in and do the job. You understand what I'm saying? The last minute, something happened where General Muhammad got sick. He wasn't able to make it. General Kabbalah steps up. He does the job. Last week, I had some personal emergency come up. Hey, look, Yamayan, you got to do the job. This is what we do here in the truth. The next man up, whatever the hell happens, somebody is there to do the job. I tell people all the time, if you can't find me, call another officer. Call the captain. Call somebody. There should always be somebody available to help deal with you, even when I'm not. And that's how it is when you got structure in a family. What your daddy say about it? You go to your mama trying to get around daddy, and they arguing because they giving you two different things. That's not one head. That's not a functional body. Now, when everybody on the same thing, everybody on the same page, somebody come to me, I'm like, what captain say about it? What general say about it? What the other officer you talked to said about it? We saying the same damn thing, and this is because we done fished each other into one family. Now, and after that, I was seeing many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain. What happens is the people that have destroyed Israel and then ruled on top of us is running around with their chests out. Look at these niggas. Look at these spics. Look at it. We on top of them and ain't nothing they can do. We have completely defeated them. All they want to do is chase the WAP, get high, and you know what I'm saying, whatever. They just, that's it. All the niggas want is a new pair of Jordans. They don't care about rulership. They don't care about being anything within the earth, having no type of status. All they want to do is have fun and fulfill their own lust and their own desires. Well, once you're back in this family, we teach you how to look for something greater. We trying to rule and get crowns up under Christ. We want, you know what I'm saying, servants of other nations to do our work for us so that we can chill and enjoy the fruits of our own labor, right? So now what's going to happen is the people that's on top right now, they're not going to want you to have that spot. You know what I'm saying? Joe Biden, whoever, if he got the whole United States military at his disposal to keep this country afloat the way it's always been, to make America great again and to keep it great, he's going to use every button he got in that White House to do it. But the Lord is going to need certain people that's willing, ready, and able to fight in a fight that could mean you might lose your life, but it's for the greater good of the children of Israel and the Lord's people. Those hunters are going to have to find those people that are on top and get rid of them. That's right. Now, and look, if we did it on our own right now, there wouldn't be a chance. We wouldn't stand a chance in hell. There's no greater murderer on the earth than Esau. He's the greatest murderer ever invented. Like, he kills babies, he kills grandmas, he don't care. In the scripture in Deuteronomy 28, it said they would not regard the young or the old. And you can see that they done pulled out all types of stories on BLACKWATCH where you see them killing old people, babies, little children. They don't even care, right? So now here's the thing. The only way that you're going to be able to win is if the Most High is on your side. And guess what? He already told us he was going to send YAHANNA and the angels to come down and to help destroy all the things that's great about this country that you can't defeat. You see what I'm saying? So once they get done doing whatever they're doing, he also said he's going to bring all the nations down into the valley of Jehoshaphat for a war that's going to destroy all of them to the point where we ain't got to do nothing but go in and clean up everything else that's left. You know what I'm saying? Just like I was saying yesterday in the class, you know what I'm saying? There's some brothers that's the only reason they here, waiting for the order. That's it. They don't care nothing about no laws, statutes, and commandments. They just want to go and kill some people. That's what they hear. That's all they want. And you know what? You're in the right place. You know why? Because we're going to teach you how to control that anger so you just don't go out and kill somebody before you get an order. You're going to wait on the order, and if the order don't come, you're not going. There's plenty of snipers in the United States government. They got the enemy in the crosshairs, and they cannot take that shot until they give them the order to do it. Else, they could get everybody on their squadron killed. You know what I'm saying? So it's got to be, it's about to be a discipline, but that's what they're talking about. Hold on one second. The trooper had his hand.
So like, I was just finna ask about 16. So would it be safe to say that the hunters are conquerors in the name of the Most High? Because like you just said, coming into the truth in the school is about teaching certain brothers how to control their anger, not let your emotions override your intelligence, and to follow orders.
What the when you say conquerors, nah, I mean, okay, anybody that's overcoming the demons that they have on them and learning to be disciplined and follow the law, statutes, and commandment is a conqueror. Whether or not you are the person that's the hunter or the fisher, right?
It was a two-part, because I wanted to know.
No, I'm answering the first part right now.
Kind
Yeah, absolutely, they're conquerors, but the fishers are conquerors as well. Not just the hunters. You feel me? All right, what's the second part?
The second part, it made me think of Amos with punishment and promise all throughout this chapter. Could I use Amos 4:2, the precept, with Jeremiah 16:16?
Amos 4:2, read it.
Amos chapter 4, verse 2. The Most High Power have sworn by his holiness that, lo, the days shall come upon you that he will take you away with hooks and your posterity with fish hooks. And the reason I was using that as a precept, because like you say, the fishers and the hunters are both conquerors, but understanding the certainty of certain events and things we face over here in this North Country, it only makes the Most High promise, like you say, those who are able to see it.
It's so deep, like what you're saying is so deep. It's so heavy. I wouldn't put it that way. What you're saying, I believe, okay, you're right? But I wouldn't say it like that.
Kind of.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what I'll tell you, like, if you're going to be, you know, an officer in the truth, what you got to understand is, first of all, like, you got to dumb down what you're really saying so that a 3-year-old can understand it, right? That scripture that you pulled was more meaty than the scripture that we was just reading. So to use it as a precept, yeah, but you're going to have to break it down, and just like what you just did. So what I'm saying, the reason I'm saying that is because it is this, okay, now it makes sense. To a Christian, they ain't going to get it up. They don't know what the hell you talking about. So yeah, it does work. Would I use it? I mean, you want to find something that makes it easier what you're trying to convey and something that makes it harder.
Stick to it.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna go back, piggyback on what you were saying about the sniper.
Nigga told me you gotta say turkey back. I'm a turkey back. Something crazy a nigga told me. Say niggas don't say piggyback no more. Because pig is unlawful. I was like, man, it ain't lawful to say pig, man. Niggas say I'm a turkey, I'm a chicken back on what you're saying. I was like, man, get out of here with that. I think that was my brother Thug Shaw said that. I heard niggas in the Muslim niggas say that too. Though. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
I would say, even when they have to wait on orders, then if they do make a kill without that order, they can receive murder charges. That's how crazy it is, even though they're in the military fighting opposition.
That's what you're talking about in the military?
And when you were saying they have snipers have to wait on...
Yeah, but think about it like this. If they don't have no other squadron or something somewhere around to come and protect them and what's going to happen after they kill that person that's the target, then they could get themselves and everybody that's right there with them, they could get them killed. You know what I'm saying? You talking about a charge like they going to make it to court. It's a war, nigga. It's a war we fight. So yeah, that's the point. Learn to be. That's the whole point of like the Hebrew Academy. All of this, like in Hebrew Academy, they teach you how to take somebody out if you need to, and how to have mercy on your brother and not kill him, even though you have the ability to. You understand?
Oh,
niggas know how to kill. And they don't know the ability to have mercy on their brother. You know how you can have a gun to kill somebody. You can have a knife, of course. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be trained about that. Pow. It's done, right? So niggas know how to kill, but they don't know how to have the ability to show mercy. And the ability to show mercy is even if you have, I don't have a gun, I still gonna have to show you some mercy. You understand? So, did I answer your question? Yes? No?
I mean, I didn't have no question. It was just a statement.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead, Al.
So, like, sir, I think the brother was trying to say that he understand what you were saying, but I think the brother was saying that the white man is such the devil that if you did kill, like, let's just say you got somebody in the sights and you shot them before they gave the order, I understand what you're saying, that everybody could die.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because we doing something out of rank. But what he's saying is, if we actually didn't die, the white man's so much of a devil that he'll train us to kill, but then now he's gonna charge us.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But nah, that's the same way in the truth. That's the same way in the truth. We're gonna train you to kill us and tell you not to kill. That's it. Now you talk about what a camp is. A camp is a bunch of brothers that's willing to die for the cause, and a camp leader that will not let anybody die. That's it right there. You're not able to kill. You know how to. You can. It's easy because all you got to do is get emotional for a second, right? But do you know how to control yourself? As the fishers, the hunters, all of that, those are different people. There's brothers in here who cannot control themselves. They don't give a damn about teaching a class. They don't care about none of that out. They ain't trying to counsel nobody. They just ready for action. That's what they're here for. Nah, because you teach the class. I just want to bust some heads when necessary. All right? And we need brothers like that. You know what I'm saying? I might hesitate a little bit, but it's another brother got that down pat. That's his whole purpose. And the Lord sent him to do that. All right? Everybody understand? Any questions? Any questions in the this ain't on. No questions? All right.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
How do we recognize a child's age while in the womb and when the child is being born?
How do you recognize what?
A baby's age when he or she is in the womb and when he or she comes out.
What you mean, like if a sister's pregnant, how does she recognize how far along she is?
Well, not how far along as far as the age. Like how old the baby is. Like how when the baby comes out, they feel the baby is 1 day old. Do we recognize it when the child is in the womb or as soon as the child comes out?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't understand your question. I think I get it. here's the deal. Like,
Okay.
you know, the traditional way that you taught in the world is when the child is born, you go from there. A year would be 1 year. You know what I'm saying? Up until then, they'll say the baby's 3 months or whatever. There's nothing wrong with doing it that way because that's the cycle in the calendar that we using. That's the timeline we using. The Israelites, in our culture, time was never exact like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, say 1,000 years, it didn't have to be 1,000 years or 346, whatever was exactly this. Our time ain't exactly like that. What time is it? 6 o'clock, 7:05, 7:16, right? Our time don't look like the same way. Our time is sun up. Is it sun up, sundown, or is midday? That's black people. That's why you could say 10, be here at 10 o'clock. You ain't going to show up at 9:45 or 10:17. I mean, it's here and there. You know what I'm saying? So when you're talking about age, it's not necessarily a big deal. But, I mean, traditionally, you know, we in America, you would start it when the baby is born. You wouldn't start it when the baby is still in the womb. There's nothing in the Bible that tells you that. But I would imagine that they did it the same way because I haven't ever heard anything contrary. Now, I will tell you this. I've never looked for it personally in the Bible, but there may be something that says something different. But as far as I know, once the child is born, that's when you start the life cycle or to, you know, see where this child is going to be at. And even though Esau get everything wrong, they have the science and all this to kind of tell you when the baby should be born, how many months and all of this. There's nothing wrong with that technology. All right? Is that what you were asking, or is it a whole different question?
No, you answered it. It was just a thought that, you know, we don't know when the child is conceived. And so it's like, okay, if the child is...
So what you saying is when the child is born and they 3 months old, then they got 9 months in the womb and 3 months out, they already a year old.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be weird. It'll be weird for the child to tell somebody they're a year old when they're 3 months old or whatever the case may be. So we don't really care about that. You know what I'm saying? What we do is hope that you'll be born again at some point, and then that's where we started from. So I'll be 7 years old the end of this year.
I'll have another question.
All right, go ahead.
I'm sure it's irrelevant, or if we shouldn't be worrying about it.
Who is this I'm talking to?
This is Martha.
Martha, your husband know you asking me questions?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead.
Cain and Abel. In the Bible, does it show anywhere of their past life?
Of their what? Past life?
Their past, yeah.
Nah, I don't talk about that in the Bible.
No? Okay.
What's significant about that? Why you wonder about their past life?
Only because of sin of Cain.
Yeah.
And I understand why he did what he did and why the Most High did what he did. So I wanted to know, as far as the reincarnation of Cain, where did that actually come from? Was it done in his past life? Or when the Bible speaks about that situation, it just speaks of what was happening during that time. So, like, for instance, if we was writing letters and somebody said, you know, Moses did this and Moses did that, it's talking about that time. It ain't telling you who Moses was before and what happened before. And the Bible don't necessarily speak about that except for John the Baptist. That's probably like the only person it really extensively lets you know they were this person in their life before. And even John the Baptist didn't know that, because the scriptures, when it talks about it, it says there is no remembrance of former things. You know what I'm saying? Right. Neither is there any remembrance of things to come. So I don't know who I'm going to be in my next life. I don't know who I was. I don't remember none of that. You know what I'm saying? And the Bible don't necessarily go into detail about who is who and all this other stuff.
It just allows you to understand how the Lord repopulates the earth with the souls that have already passed on. It's a regeneration. It's a regeneration more than a reincarnation. But it don't talk about that. But for Cain and Abel, it don't tell us who Adam was before he was Adam. It might have been the first time. You know what I'm saying? It don't really talk about it. Well, this talking about the beginning of the truth. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to Adam and Cain and Abel, it's talking about the beginning of when the Lord gave a man from being, what they call them things, what they call them when they were saying the man was at a lower state, they like monkeys or whatever. What they call
Neanderthals.
Neanderthals, yeah. It's talking about a man going from a Neanderthal state where he'll eat whatever he want, sleep with whatever you want, do whatever you want, to the Lord breathing the breath of life in him and giving him the law, statutes, and commandments to say, no, you can't eat that. You can't sleep with that. You can't do that. You can't murder this person. And that's where Adam comes in. He's the first person that got that law. So when you're talking about Cain and Abel, they were just his children. So the truth had just begun. It don't really talk about anything before that. The only thing it says in the Bible that there were men and women before Adam. All right?
Okay, thank you.
All right, no problem. Any other questions? Anybody else?
Salakia, sir. I have a question on Romans, the 2nd chapter, verse 29.
What's the question?
And I wanted to know, when they talking about circumcision of the heart, that's pretty much talking about the circumcision of the mind, right? Because, you know, there's, I think if I'm not mistaken, there's 2 different types of circumcisions. You know what I'm saying? Circumcision of the foreskin and then the circumcision of the mind. So I wanted to know, when it's talking about right here, the circumcision of the heart in the spirit and not in the letter, whose praise is not of man but of the
Stand
Lord.
up for a second. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to get a breakdown on that.
I think you just broke it down. Huh?
Yeah, but I'm still not understanding.
Ask the last part of your question real quick. You said,
Well,
I know you said you understand that circumcision, there's 2 different circumcisions. Circumcision of the heart, which is the mind, and then circumcision of the foreskin. You understand that part of it. So What's your question about it?
So my question here is, well, basically not a question. I just want to get a breakdown.
On what verse?
On 29.
All right, go ahead and give me verse 25. Nope. 23. No, 25. Give me verse 25. Start there.
Sir. The book of Romans, chapter 2, verse 25. For circumcision verily profiteth, if thou keep the law. But if thou be a breaker of the law, thy circumcision is made uncircumcision.
Now, what does that mean, Allah?
That means that you can go and get circumcised on your foreskin, but if you're breaking the law, then what was the point of you getting circumcised?
Right. You still have no covenant with God. You still not one of the Lord's people. You just a brother that's circumcised. Exactly.
Right.
So it's more to it than that. Keep going.
Verse 26. Therefore, if uncircumcision keep the righteousness of the law, shall not the uncircumcision be counted for circumcision?
That's the opposite. This is a person who has not been circumcised on the 8th day, but he keeping the law. So now, if the uncircumcised person is keeping the law, shouldn't he be counted as somebody who's circumcised? Right? Keep going. That's a question that he's asking as well. Go ahead.
Verse 27. And shall not uncircumcision, which is by nature, if it fulfill the law, judge thee, who by the letter and circumcision does transgress the law.
So now, if that person shall not, the person that's keeping the law, that did not do the natural part of getting circumcised, but is doing the spiritual part, shouldn't he be a better man than thee? He should be able to judge and rule over you. That's what he's saying. All right, keep going.
Verse 28. For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly, neither is that circumcision, which is outward in the flesh.
What does that mean? You can see a nigga who got fringes on. He got a garment, huh?
A heathen, sir?
No, I mean, no, it ain't talking about that. It's more so talking about, it's all Israelites. It's all Israelites, but when it's saying Jew, it's saying like the son of God, like the children of Judah, like the Israelites, right? So you ain't no Israelite just because you put on a headpiece or you put on a garment or you got circumcised. That's being an Israelite outwardly, right? Tell you about a brother that, you know, had on a headpiece, one best outfit, and, you know, he outside smoking a Newport. He's a Jew outwardly. Inwardly, he still got work. He's still not a part of the Lord's people fully. He still have not the Lord. You get what he's saying? All right, keep going.
Verse 29. But he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and circumcision that is of the heart, in the spirit, and not in the letters, whose praise is not of men, but of the power.
So here it is right here. A lot of men can praise people that come into the truth and say, hey, this brother done changed his life. He coming to class. What you looking for is for the Lord to see that you changed your mind. That's what repenting is. Changing your mind. I don't want to do that no more. I don't like that no more. I'm not with that no more. Right? That's repentance. I shouldn't have never done it. I'm sorry I did it. These are the things that you have to do in order to serve the Lord. Now, your homeboys might not agree with it. Your rib may hate it. You ain't looking for praise of men. You looking for the praise of the Most High. Right? And the men that's of the same mind as the Most High, they'll see it and they'll give you that praise. That's what this is talking about. The difference between the nigga who faking, he faking, and the nigga who real about, you know, doing the work of the Lord, about being a part of the body, about that. Circumcising his mind is to cut off all the foolishness that you had in your mind so that you can serve the Lord. You understand?
So when it says in the spirit and not in the letters, so basically when it's saying that in the spirit and not in the letters would probably would that be like me walking after the flesh, or like?
Nah, in the letter is like, okay, what Christ came to do is show them that not cranking your car up on a Saturday, not firing up your stove on a Saturday, not, let me give another one that might be a little bit different. Thou shalt wear fringes on your garments, right? You got the purple people, they'll walk around, the first thing they see with you, they don't care about all the other sin you got going on. They'll be like, where your fringes at? The Bible says you should wear fringes. Nigga, I'm trying to get off crack, nigga. You talking about where's my fringes, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, they looking towards those things you can see outwardly, but you never know what the hell a brother really dealing with. The demons he might have on him that's 10 times worse than you keep, like, not cooking on the Sabbath day or not buying a soda on the Sabbath day. This is talking about when a brother changing his mind. You ain't so much focused on the letter, you focus on trying to change. And that's what Christ was talking about when the Pharisees was like, they ain't washing their hands. Man, this is not, we're not talking about the letter of the law. This thing is spiritual. You got to follow the Lord. The precept would be what?
I was just getting ready to say, they that worship me must worship me in spirit
That's
and
it.
truth.
That's it. Somebody give me that. God is a spirit.
So
you got it?
No, I have another question.
Hold on 1 second. Let me get that real quick, and then you can go to your question. That's what it is. People be trying to put on for man. I remember I seen my pastor at one of the homecoming games. I was out there wilding. I wasn't doing nothing. I had no business. But you know how people get when you're in the church and you see your pastor. You want to pipe down, act like you got some sense. You know what I'm saying? I was telling his mama about it. She was like, man, your pastor ain't got no heaven or hell to put you in. Like, nigga, you shouldn't be trying to like look good in front of a man when the Lord see everything you doing. That's what this is talking about. This is talking about being for real, not being a hypocrite, not pretending to be something and showing it outwardly. Oh, nigga, you done sent $1,000 into the priest fund or whatever the case may be, and then you don't pay your 10%. You done did all this other stuff. You got all the freshest garments. I remember there's a brother that left the truth. Him and Israel was the freshest people at the Passover. Hands down, nobody was better than them. Their garments was better than everybody else. Her dress was beautiful. She had a thing on, all this. They ain't here. They were Jews outwardly, but they were never circumcised in their mind. You understand, right? You got the precept? Nobody got the precept?
Con.
Go ahead.
It's John chapter 4, verse 24. God is a spirit.
Go up one.
Con. The book of John chapter 4, verse 23. But the hour cometh, and now is when the true worshiper shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth.
In spirit and in what?
Truth.
By the letter. No.
Truth.
It say in spirit and in truth. You know what I'm saying? You trying to keep the Passover because the Lord told you to keep the Passover, but your spirit and your heart ain't in it. You trying to do this thing, but your heart ain't in it, right? When the Lord say He put His spirit on you, it's gonna make it easy. My laws are not grievous, right? But yes, they are to a nigga who ain't got it in his spirit to do the right thing. It's hard for a nigga to not do cocaine when he ain't got the spirit of the Lord on him to help him not do cocaine. He ain't focused in on what the Lord is saying. He's really focused on what the hell his body is saying. And his body is telling him that this woman's old lady who wants to have sex with him is fine and it's going to feel good to do this. You understand what I'm saying? That is grievous because you ain't got the spirit. The only way you can keep these laws properly is if you had the Lord's spirit on you and you're circumcised in your mind. Meaning, like, even the stuff that I love to do, I'm not going to do it because the Lord said no. Right? That's circumcising your mind. Keep going on.
For the Father seeketh such to worship Him.
The Lord is seeking those people who are worshiping Him now. Ain't nobody talking about what the scriptures say. These people worship me with their mouth and with their lips, but with their actions or in their hearts, they're far from me. Right? That's what He's talking about. The Lord is not seeking those people that's going to go and shout and jump around and slobber at the mouth and crip walk and all this other stuff. And then at the end of the day, they still filthy. That's you see what I'm saying? That's what the circumcision and the uncircumcision and the Jewish outward, that's what you got there. They Jews outwardly. Oh, hallelujah and all this other stuff. But they'll never take the time to find out what the hell hallelujah really means. They'll never find out why they saying this or doing that. They just do it because they've been trained to do it. I know people that can do that, what they do in church, talking about speaking on tongue, which is supposed. I know they can do it like, if I tell them to do it, they'll just do it. And it'll sound the same exact way than the people who's supposed to be slain in the Holy Ghost. It'll sound the same way. They just trained to do it. You train when this nigga touch you on your head, you fall out. You know what I'm saying? It's like abracadabra. Boom, that's the net. Now here comes the magic. You're trained to do that. Right? That's not what this is talking about. It's talking about worshiping the Lord for real. Keep reading.
Verse 24. The Most High is a spirit, and they that worship Him must worship Him in spirit and in truth.
So He understands your spirit because He is a spirit. The Lord understands your mind because He lives there. He's in your mind, right? He know if you ain't right or not. So this is what Paul was trying to tell them. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't be fake. Don't try to put on. Don't do it for men's service or whatever, right? You're doing it to serve the Lord. And in order to do that, it's got to be real. It's got to be in your heart. It's got to be in your mind. It's got to be something that you done mastered completely. You know what I'm saying? Not just doing it for the sake. They do that in the church all the time. Yeah, I used to go to the church on Sunday. As soon as I got out, I knew by 2 o'clock I was going to be somewhere smoking. I knew that, you know what I'm saying, I was going to be doing something. I had no business Monday. And I'll be back by Wednesday. I'll be on time for Bible study. I was brother such and such. And they didn't know what the hell I was doing when I wasn't there. You can't be like that and serve the Lord. You can't. And, you know what I'm saying, that's the hard part about us coming in here, because the only good people we thought we knew was in the church. The thugs definitely ain't good. The drug dealers ain't good. We know them niggas ain't nothing. We thought these people was good, and this is how they trained us to be. Fake. Hypocrites. That's why Christ was saying that. Scribes, the Pharisees, you hypocrites. Because you look good on the outside, but inside, you really dead. You know what I'm saying? That's what Paul was talking about. Same thing. You get it?
Kind of, sir, but you kind of answered, like, the second question I had, you kind of answered it already, but, like, you a little bit too deep with it, to where now I understand, but I don't understand, because we in the I.S.U.P.K we use heart, and we substitute that as the mind. So it's saying that we circumcision of the heart, which is our mind, but then it also says in the spirit. So now what I want to ask you is, when you were saying being like it, when you being circumcised of the spirit, it's not faking the truth, faking the funk, pretty much, right? When you looking at the spirit part of it.
All right, there are going to be some things that you're going to have to do to just follow what the Lord say that you're not going to want to do. Right? But that's a discipline that you have to learn. But it gets you, the law gets you to the spirit, which is, you know what I'm saying? Let me see how I want to say it. The law is, following the law is what gets you in the mind of the spirit of Christ and the spirit of the Most High. So sometimes you got to do it, you don't want to do it. But eventually, once you do it long enough and you break, it say to resist the devil and he'll flee. But if you don't never resist the nigga, he's going to stay on your ass and he's going to be telling the Lord how you ain't nothing. And you're going to show the Lord that Satan is right. But yeah, we don't substitute heart for mind. We say it because it's a better way. If you're going back into the Greek word or the Hebrew word, that's what it really means. It's your mind. And the way you know that is when Christ was talking about committing adultery. He's like, you know, in the letter of the law, it says if you sleep with another man's woman. But I'm saying if you're sitting there thinking about it, you already done it in your mind. And what you do in your mind, eventually, you know what I'm saying, if given the opportunity, you would do in the flesh. Right? You understand?
Come on.
All right. Any other questions? Go ahead.
If the sister in the school wants to have a baby shower or a little gender reveal party, is that a worldly thing or is it okay?
Nah, that's fine. A gender reveal and a baby shower is fine for people in the truth. I mean, the gender reveal is kind of like not necessarily Israelite culture, but it's not a sin at the end of the day. It's just something that we do here in America. It's something to celebrate having a child, and a child is a blessing from the Lord. You know what I'm saying? What you don't want to do is make the child an idol and have big statues and all this other stuff. You don't want to go too far with it, but no, it's perfectly fine. Everybody knows that in our oppression that we in right now, you're going to need brothers and sisters to help you out with some of the stuff you're going to need to bring a child in this world. And we much rather you have that happen where you trying to get things together before the child get here or right after the child get here than you doing what other people do and just having an abortion and killing the child. So no, it's not a sin to have a baby shower or a gender reveal party. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not it's something that, it's really up to the individual. Not just make sure you don't go off into a whole other world with it. All right, certain things to do it. If you have any questions about what's lawful or not lawful You just contact and get some counsel on the situation, all right? All right, any other questions?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
I asked this question a couple weeks ago, but I didn't know how to word it. So now I'm re-asking it again because I wrote it down. It's about the law, statutes, and commandments. And General Muhammad was breaking it down. But I say a commandment, is this statement correct? A commandment is something that came out of the mouth of the Most High. The statutes are the rules given by the Most High to a specific person. And then the commandments are
What about the laws?
The commandments are the laws. Hold on. A commandment is something that came out of the mouth of the Most High. The statutes are the rules given by that person the Most High gave the commandments to, and the laws are the judgments.
No. But I'm going to tell you why it's hard to explain what each one of them is, because they all the same thing. Right. So what you would say is, okay, the laws say you got the Constitution. The statutes, you got the amendments. In other words, the law is straight. With the amendments that's in the Constitution, what they done is over time, people find great areas of how to break the law. Right? The statutes is what we've learned over time to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. The commandments are the same thing as the law. It's what the Lord said you should and should not do. So it don't break down like they three separate things. They all go together. That's why we always say it like that. The law, statutes, and commandments. The law, statutes, and commandments. They are the same thing. Now, if you want to get technical with it, you could get each definition. It's going to tell you it's a little bit of variance, but when it comes to the scriptures, it don't break it down the way that you breaking it down. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
But you could be right. You would just have to go through and get each definition. And we're talking about Oxford Merriam-Webster, because you might not find in a Bible dictionary to say it like that. What is a law? What is a statute? What is a commandment? Right? And then when it comes to the commandments, it's going to cover the laws. It's going to cover the judgments. The judgments is what happens when somebody breaks this law. You know what I'm saying? If a woman breaks this law or a man breaks this law, he's found with another man's woman. Well, you throw rocks at the nigga till he die. That's a judgment. It could be a statute, right? Mm-hmm. Or it could just be the law. This is the law. You have to follow it. What category it falls on, it ain't that cut and dry like that, because all of it is the Lord say do it. All of it you got to do. And all of it, there's punishments if you don't do it. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't think about it like splitting it up in three different things. And this is what falls up under a law. This is what falls up under a commandment. A law is a commandment because it came from the Lord. The Lord commanded you to do it. You know what I'm saying? A statute could be something totally different, but it's the same thing. All of it is based on, what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. I wouldn't split it up the way you split it up.
I was just looking at it from like being in the school, you know what I'm saying, as Commander General YAHANNA as our leader. And then since 1969, there's been laws passed down and statutes.
Yeah, all right, I'll give you an example. The 6-month rule, right? 6-month rule is nowhere in the Bible, right? To Kazakh, now, it might not be to you, 6-month rule is a law, right? Mm-hmm. You could break it. You ain't sin. Watch what happens to you. You will be punished. I'm saying this because I know, and I ain't talking about breaking the 6-month rule in the truth, and like dealing with no sister in the truth. Even in the world, nigga. If you don't do the 6 months, you're going to regret it. There's going to be some punishment that's going to come. So, like, look, you got to look at it like it's the word of God, nigga, coming to you. Your woman, she ain't going to hear from the Lord. She going to hear from you. So if you say, you better not go out to that club with that broad right there. It's not going to be a good look for you. She could go. It ain't in the Bible that say that. But the man of God that the Lord placed over her told her not to go. It then became a commandment of God. You understand?
So Salakia, wouldn't that be Like in my family, wouldn't that be like law, statutes, and commandments that like if I was to die or something was to happen to me, that should be like continue to go. Like once I'm not, like my children should follow, my wife should follow. Like
no, if you die, I get your woman.
You right.
That's the law.
Right.
I have to take her. Don't get that. No, I'm just joking. I'm just tripping. But it's the law.
That was fun.
It's the law. That's how I go. Now, yes, your children should carry on whatever you taught them moving forward if something happened to you. But that's the same way. If something happened where the men that's above me now, so one of them is out of place. Somebody fall out the troop. Somebody die. Whatever the case may be, it's another man. Either I assume that realm and I move to that rank or whatever the case may be. Like, for instance, what Commander General YAHANNA was saying about how he got the rank. The men above him moved on, changed, went to different groups. They started doing other things and believing other doctrine. He just kept doing what he was doing. And because he was the highest ranking general at the time that kept the name I.S.U.P.K, kept doing what they taught him to do, that's how he became a commanding general. All right, so this is the same way.
Come on, sir. Through water.
All right. Any other questions? No other questions? Go ahead, Moses.
And you can go to the club, right?
You say you can't?
Can.
C-A-N? Yeah, I just went to the club with the general over the weekend. God.
But can, and when I read the Psalm 1, verse 1 to 2, can you break that down for me?
Psalms chapter 1, verse 1?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. I use this this scripture when it comes to fake Israelite groups and being one with them too. Hold on, let me get there. I want you to read it for me, all right? Give me a second to get there, though. Go ahead.
Psalm 1, verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, not standeth in the way of the sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the
Scornful.
scornful.
Mm-hmm. Read the second verse real quick.
But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and his law doth he meditate day and night.
All right, stop right there. All right, so now, what this is talking about, right, is having a solid ground within the truth. A man who has a solid ground within the truth walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. Think about this. Going to the club is like going to Walmart. Right? You could go there and just look around. You could take something home with you. There are people that's in Walmart that's going to buy pork. They in there to get them a bag of shrimp. You ain't in there to get no pork or no bag of shrimp. Therefore, you're not breaking the law. You're around sinners. They're all sinners. Right? Does that mean you're walking in the counsel of the ungodly or standing in the way with sinners or sitting at the seat with the scornful? What this is talking about is who you surround yourself with in your everyday life. Right? I'll tell you this, like, even after I stopped smoking weed, I could not stop smoking Black and Mild tobacco for nothing. It was an issue. It was a problem. I had to completely stop hanging around people who smoked them because I wasn't even buying them, and I'd just be like, "Yo, let me catch the end of that black." It's just there. It's always there, no matter where you go. It's there, right? But that means is you have to surround yourself with new people that keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That's what it is. Blessed is the man who walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. Now, if I'm out there with Captain Soccer War and General Q and Captain Shawar Yala and all these, I have men that understand the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. They're not going to allow me to sin. You understand? I'm walking in the way of sinners. I have a bunch of brothers that's under me. I'm gonna look at and say, you know what? If I do that, that might send the wrong message to Rakam. That might send the wrong message to Yamayan. So I'm not gonna do that anyway. So no, it's a whole different thing with you handling. Like I had a sister that was telling me she had a friend that's not in the truth. She want to go out and hang with her. Well, what if your friend decides that she wants to go with and have some threesomes and all that tonight, and you roll with her? You're rolling with her. It's saying putting yourself in a position that now you're in a position to sin. What you have to do is surround yourself with people that are not sinners, right? Don't sit in the seat with people that's going to be scorned. But and the way you know this is not deliberately talking about certain things, when people look in the Bible, it's always like point blank. Thou shalt not buy or sell on the Sabbath. I bought a soda. Am I sinning? It's not like that. But the light in the law of the Lord and in the law, His law does you meditate day and night. I got slave at 9 o'clock in the morning. Am I going to be able to meditate in the law of the Lord tomorrow during the day?
That's funny.
Moses. Even if I wanted to, right? I can't do it like literally what it's talking about. But what it means is you taking the script, you taking the law, statutes, and commandment, you taking the way of life that the Lord said, you taking the things that you're supposed to be doing with you all the time, right? You're not, because like, yeah, where a brother say, you know, in the scriptures it say, put off the appearance of evil. Like you don't even want it to look like you doing nothing wrong. Now that can cover a lot of ground, right? That can cover a lot of things if you take it literally. The whole point is for you to be righteous, for you to look righteous, for you to separate yourself from the world. This is what this is talking about. Separating yourself from the world, not being like them. The scripture, a precept I would get, let me see if I can find it real quick. To help you out. I'm gonna help you out with the answer to this question. Somebody give me Nah, that ain't it. Give me John chapter 17. I believe that's it. I don't think that's the one I'm looking for. John chapter 17. Verse 14. Verse 14. Yamayan, go ahead and read it for me.
John chapter 17, verse 14. I have given them thy word, and the world hath hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from the evil.
So what he's saying here is he's saying like, you in the world, right? But you're not a part of the world that you're around. When I go to my slavery tomorrow, there's going to be sinners there. There's going to be people that don't believe what I believe. There's going to be people that the Lord did not call. There's going to be people that the Lord that cannot be saved even if they wanted to, right? What you have to understand is that you're different. You separated yourself. The Lord called you from amongst everybody else and said, yo, this is what I need you to do. You holy. But you still like can't say, well, I can't go certain places. Just everywhere you go, you have to take the truth with you. You have to have the Spirit of the Most High with you. Christ saying, I ain't telling the Lord to take them up out of here. I ain't telling him to take them up out the world, but just that they won't be a part of it. Go ahead to verse 18, or where you was at?
15, sir.
Go ahead to verse 16.
16?
Yeah.
Come on. John, chapter 17, verse 16. They are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. Sanctify them through the truth. Thy word is truth. If thou hast sent me into the world, even so have I also sent them into the world. And for their sakes I sanctify myself, that they also might be sanctified through the truth.
That's all it is. When you cleansing yourself, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor have a seat with sinners, nor eat, you know what I'm saying, nor sit in the way of unrighteousness. It's talking about you changing and not being the same way that everybody else is, even though you're around them. You understand, Moses?
When I work, I try to enter the conversation with some brothers about the Bible, about the truth, what I learned in class. But they brought up this subject about if I can go to the club. I said, yes, I can go, but as soon as I think the truth.
Let me ask you a question. Do you want to go to the club? Exactly. I don't even want to go to the club. Like right now, the only reason I went is because it was other brothers in the truth that did want to go. I get in fights every time it's a cookout or something. I don't want to go, but brothers do want to go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go with my brothers. Well, I'm not gonna go with my brothers. I let Young and Young go with my brothers. My point is, what I'm saying is, they talking to you about that. You don't even want to go to the club, right? So why are they bringing that to you? What you simply tell them is, whatever there is no law, we follow the law. That's how you please the Lord. That's how you make it into the kingdom. Where there is no law, there is no sin. And there is no law that says thou shalt not go to the club.
You know, they are Christians.
This is what you do. This is what you do. You ask them, you say, what you doing Sunday or what you doing Monday night? Or they'll probably be in church. If they Christians, they'll be in church on Sunday. But you ask them, what you doing Monday night at 7? Hey, call in this and just listen. Just listen in. If you have any questions, you can't ask those questions. Don't ask me because I'm still, don't ask me. Listen, you got to tell them, don't ask you because you're still learning. But you could just listen to other people ask questions. And then if you have a question, you could ask somebody who knows the answer and will give you the answer. They really trying to confound you because they want you back in the church, Moses. Your tithe money was good when you was in the church, Moses. You was doing all the work they didn't want to do around the church. You was doing it. They miss you, Moses. You understand what I'm saying, right? All right, Most High Christ. Any other questions? No other questions? All right.
So I can.
Go ahead.
Can I get a breakdown of Revelations chapter 2, verse 8 through 11?
I come to the conclusion that I am unable to break down Revelations. No, I'm just joking. Let's see what we got here. You're gonna be wondering. So the horse that was in Revelations that the man was sitting on, he had a white. What was the significance of the horse being white? Man, I don't know, man. Stop selling dope. That's what it means. Revelations 2 and what?
8 through 11. I just really wanted to know, as you was breaking down another question earlier about the circumcision and uncircumcision.
Yeah.
9, is this more so speaking about the Jewish people over there in the land of Israel that value circumcision and try to do it on the 8th day and all of that? That's really what.
Verse 8 through what?
It's like 11, but it really ain't have to go that far.
All right. Go ahead and read it.
Revelations chapter 2, verse 8. And into the angel of the church in Smyrna write, these things saith the first and the last, which was dead and is alive. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not.
Did that answer your question? Who is this talking about?
It's like I just want to make sure we're talking about the Jewish people over there.
No, I'm saying who is the people that say they are Jews and are not? Who is that?
The white man, the ones over in Palestine and the land area.
So-called Jewish man, right?
Okay.
All right. Keep going. No, hold on. That didn't answer your question?
Kind of. I just didn't want to lean on my own understanding of it.
Nah, that's who it's talking about, but it's more to it. Keep reading.
But are the synagogue of Satan. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days.
Remember I was talking about in the scriptures, these things are not exact. It's not talking about 10 days. It's not talking about 1,000 years. It's talking about a period of time, right? Okay. So when it's talking about this, it's not still talking about them. Now it's talking about the devil. Who is the devil that the Bible speaks of?
Accusing the white man.
All right. Well, are all white men calling themselves Jewish?
No.
Just only the ones in it. So it's covering other different grounds. So you can't just put it all like it's talking about just the Jewish people. It's talking about other white people as well. Did I answer your question or no?
Kind of. You're
so damn deep, Ricom. Sorry, man. You just being yourself out. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I had a nice love conversation with Captain Soccer War about that, and made me feel a little bit better about being me and not being other people. You know what I'm saying? Some of the men I look up to and respect, I don't have their same vibe, their same mannerism. You know what I'm saying? It's perfectly okay in the Lord to just be yourself. As long as you understand what's going on and you serving the Lord with all spirit and in truth. All right. Any other questions?
I have a question. I have just one question. I don't know if it's scripture based, but can I'll save that for after class. I'll save that question.
Any other questions? All right, let me ask y'all this. Any person in here heard something in a class, right? Maybe in this class, maybe in another class, that you don't quite understand, that you might need to touch on. It might be something that, everybody know, or everybody think they know, or you might need some scriptures on it. I'll give you the curriculum of Truth 101, right? This is the curriculum. We got reincarnation. The law is not done away with. Who Christ came for. The shield of David. Love and hate. What's love? What's real hate? The law in the New Testament. Rank. Racism. know what I'm saying? Are y'all racist? Dealing with your family as you come into the truth. How to do that. Brotherhood. The virgin birth. Passover. Woe unto the pastors. Got who Christ came for. How is the white man the devil? What's up with slavery in the Bible? They know who you are. The creation and different things like that. Multiple wives. Then I have some other things that's not necessarily on it. You got John 3:16. Smoking weed is idol worship. God is a man of war. And separating from the world. These are like the main things I'm teaching here. And like you might get any of them all together on one breakdown. But the point is, if it's something that's in those things that I just read that you have questions about, I would like it if you answer those questions, ask those questions right now. All right, it could be any of those. Go ahead.
I was looking for my question, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna be on the right topic or not.
It ain't no topic. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm on the question on 1 Corinthians 13, verse 12.
You have a particular question?
No, sir. I just wanted to get a breakdown because verse 11 is pretty self-explanatory, but then when you go into verse 12, it just threw me a whole left field.
That means you didn't. That means you don't really understand verse 11.
Come on, sir.
1 Corinthians what?
13, 11, and 12.
What? I'm trying to use a real sword. I was there. All right, 1 Corinthians 13, 11, and 12.
Come on, sir. First Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see through a glass, darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I know even as also I am known. What? Keep going.
Yeah.
Verse 13. And now abideth faith, hope, charity, these three. But the greatest of these is charity.
First of all, you would have to start at verse 8 so you know what he's talking about. He's talking about charity the whole time. And charity not in the sense of like what we think of charity. Charity is brother's love. Huh? Yeah, it's the love you show your brother. It's keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. It's doing those things. If you read the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, you can grab that one unless you have one. Give me charity in there.
So like you, sir, it's not in here.
Anybody got charity? Somebody give me charity. It might be in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Might not be. Thought it was in there. If you don't have the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, give it to me in the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. I thought it said see something else. Nobody got it?
I'm almost there, sir.
Go ahead.
I got charity. And it's on the band by producers.
Go ahead and read it. He probably got
Charity.
it. Salaki, 1 second, my Shimon.
Hey,
Salaki, 1 second. He probably got the compact. It's words in here. It's not the compact. Oh, it's in his.
It's in there. I ain't got no glasses, sir.
All right, go ahead, Marshamon.
come. Zonvan in the Compact Bible Dictionary, page 103. Charity. Charity in the Bible never means giving to the poor, but always a good God-inspired love, which includes respect for and concern for the welfare of the loved one.
All right, so that is right there. What Paul is talking about ain't giving to the poor when he's talking about charity. He's talking about brotherhood. That's what this whole thing about. You understand brotherhood, you gonna understand what Paul is talking about in here, right? So now, I lost my page real quick. 1 Corinthians 13 and
You said 11. I said 11 and 12, but you said start at verse 8.
all right, verse 8. Go ahead and read it.
Con, sir. The book of First Corinthians, chapter 13, verse 8. Charity never fails, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is part shall be done away.
Now, what the hell is this saying? What this is saying simply, maybe for the sake of time, let me break it down for you. We talk about those things that's going to happen in the future, right? But we don't live in the future. We talk about YAHANNA coming back. We talk about the white man going into chains. We talk about all this stuff. The reason why we're talking about this stuff is it was prophesied by men of the Lord, right? Certain things that was prophesied, like Job prophesied the destruction of Nineveh. The Lord ended up not destroying Nineveh, right? Because the Lord had mercy on them. There was men that said that Christ was going to come back in the year 2000. You know what I was doing in the year 2000? Looking for the Y2K to happen. I had a room. I had like a half a P. I had some guns, and I was in a hotel room thinking all the lights was gonna cut off, and I had to protect me and my woman. I don't know how I was gonna do that. I was stoned out my damn mind. but that's not the point. The point was, had Christ came back at that time, I would have never made it in the truth. None of us that's on the line or in the truth right now would ever happen. The Lord spared us, had mercy on us. Everything, the prophecies, all of this stuff is going to fall away. But brotherhood is the importance. What is the greatest commandment? Somebody give me that one. When they ask Christ that, right? Nothing more important than brotherhood. I don't care how much you following the laws, what you think you doing, what you quit doing, none of that. I don't care about none of that. If you do not learn how to treat your brothers, you are doing it for nothing. You've done it for nothing. You might as well hang up, log off, and go and do whatever you want to do with your silly little mind and your heart. Brotherhood is the key and the point in all of this. Why? Because we have to have a government and a nation and a family that rules the entire earth. If we do not understand brotherhood, we'll not be able to do it. We won't be able to do it. White people love white people. That's why they can be on top. They would rather deal with their own than to deal with you. They would rather show their own some love than to show you love. That's not how we get down. That's not how we get. We love our oppressor more than our brothers. We love their gods more than our God. Right? Paul is saying here, all of this stuff going to pass away. The prophecies and everything. Because look, once they come to pass, you don't need the prophecy no more. It happened already. All that is further proof that the Lord was telling the truth. But when it comes to brotherhood, that's something that we'll have to endure. Even after all of this stuff has failed and we in the kingdom, you still gonna have to know how to treat your brother. You understand, Halal?
Come on.
So now when I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. When I became a man, I put away childish things. For now, I forgot, Salaki. There's a part in it. For we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away with. It's like a sister asking me how Christ was going to be when he come back. Or like a person asking you, what the kingdom going to be like. I don't know, nigga. I'm trying to get there. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Is they going to have Rolls Royces in the kingdom? Is they going to have Lamborghini doors in the kingdom? Who the hell knows? I don't know. I'm just trying to get there. I want to see. So I'm trying to get there. We don't know what the hell everything is all about that the Lord has waiting for us. We prophesy in part, meaning we know what the prophet said of old. We know what the Lord promised us. We know what we want. But we don't know even how Christ is coming. We know what the Bible say about it, but there are certain things it does not say about it. And if you ask those questions in class, if you in the truth, we're going to say, well, this is what the Bible say. Anything else would be us making up stuff. And that's where all religions come from. Adding stuff to what that ain't even in there and making up stuff. That's not what it say. You adding that part. Even in the in the Proud Boys interview, you had the dude who thought he was Jewish talking all this and all that stuff about what's in there. And when he said, Jeriano was like, okay, show it to us. Show me where it's at. You saying it, where is it at? It ain't in there. Everything that I teach you, Truth 101, is something somebody talking about that ain't about what the law is done away with. And they'll give you a roundabout answer that say something close to it, and they'll take it and run and add a whole bunch of philosophy on top of that. We prophesying in part means us that know the truth, we know what Moses laid down, we know what Yahushua laid down, we know what Jeremiah, you know what I'm saying, what Paul, all these brothers laid down, and we saying what they saying. We saying what they said, right? At the end of the day, no man, even Christ himself, they asking like, well, damn, when is this kingdom coming? Then Christ like, no man, I don't even know. He the king of the kingdom. He don't even know. So you know everything, but Christ ain't know everything, right? What I tell you, I do know. You're going to keep them commandments. You're going to serve the Lord. We're going to get rid of our enemies. Go ahead, Halak. You got something?
The precept you asked for, sir.
Go ahead.
Is Matthew chapter 22, verse 38. This is the first and the greatest commandment. And the second is like unto you, that thou shalt unto it, that thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
There it is right there. That is, he asked, what's the greatest commandment? Of course, love the Most High is the greatest commandment. How you treat the Most High. But remember what it said. You saying you love God, and you don't see God every day. You see niggas every day. How you treat them, sir, proves whether or not you love the Lord or not. By this men shall know whether you are my disciples, that you love one another. Right? This is what Paul is talking about when he's talking about this charity. But I had to touch on that. We don't know what that which is perfect has come, then we prophesy in part, because it goes back down to that in verse 12. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then, meaning once the kingdom is here, we're going to see it face to face. We're going to see what we talking about. We're going to see the prophecies fulfilled. We're going to see what the kingdom look like. We're going to see how Christ going to run it. We're going to see what Christ look like, what kind of body we going to have. All of these things that we can only answer with the scriptures. Now we live in it. Now it's there. It's in front of our face. It's tangible. It's something we can touch, something we can see. Right? That's what he's talking about. Now he say, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know even as I am known. And now abideth faith, hope, charity, these three. Right now, we got to have faith that Christ is coming back. Otherwise, we in deep doo-doo. We got to hope that the Lord is going to get us out of this condition and this hell that we're going through. Right? And we got to love one another while we're doing it. That hope and the faith you have is cool and it's needed. Out of these three, the greatest of them is brotherhood. Mm-hmm. It's greater than you saying I have faith. Show me your faith. I'll show you my works. That's what this is talking about. You get it?
Come on, sir.
All right. Any other questions?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. I've been waiting on you, BLACKWATCH.
Yeah, I was on the class. I was just letting have my sword with me, but I had a question, but I don't have my notes with me, so I'm just in the class and just listening.
What's the question you got?
It was about, like, how do we keep? Thank you so much.
Hey, whoever ain't got their phone on mute, put your phone on mute. Everybody check your phone. Go ahead, BLACKWATCH.
Yeah, I had a question about if our people that's like out in the world, you see it, like you see them doing like, you know, they doing like, you know, they not in the truth, but are we really supposed to treat them like we treat each other, like in brotherhood? Because I see some of our people that's like out in the world, man, they just like, you know, it's like wickedness.
When you say that, what you mean? When you say that, what you mean?
Like I was in a slavery job one day, and I had a brother had wanted me to do a job for him, and I was working on his car, and he had and I happened to look in the trunk, and this brother had like a whole bunch of like weed was in the back, you know, and you know, I was just dealing with the brother, you know, I deal with him, but it was just like, you know, I saw the weed, but I actually didn't want to work on his car, you know, because he had all the weed, but I could get in trouble or something for that, you know?
All right, did he have his car or you have his car?
He had his car. I was at his house. He had his car.
Was he paying you to work on his car?
Yeah, he was. He paid me to work on his car. But
all right, because you was at his house working on his car, I would have just got my money and did my job. If he brought it to your house or your place of business, I would have had a nice long talk with him about how that was disrespectful and he should never do that again. And I would have decided whether I wanted to take the money or not. What you got to understand is everybody outside of the truth smokes weed. Everybody outside of the truth robs niggas. Everybody outside of the truth sleeps with other men, old lady. Everybody outside of the truth do every manner of evil and wickedness that you could think of. So if they ain't in here, they doing it. When brothers come in here trying to change their life, 9 times out of 10, Satan is still on them brothers. And they got to fight them and learn how to fight them before they're going to get off. So here's the point. You cannot expect somebody who's in the world to live like somebody that's in the truth. You must expect people that's in the truth to live like somebody that's in the truth. I expect if I meet a broad right now and I ask her if she smokes, she says yes. If I ask her if she pops pills, she says yes. I'm a little bit shocked if a woman say, I don't do drugs. I'm not having sex with nobody. I'm a really honestly be like, she's lying. You know what I'm saying? BLACKWATCH, no, you cannot treat people in the truth like you treat people outside of the truth, but the brotherhood has to be the same. What I mean by that, we gonna go out. I'm gonna get up at 5 o'clock Saturday morning, come up here, grab the troopers, go to Daytona, jump down with other officers, go to Orlando, get with other officers, and we're gonna drive and go to Ybor City. We got to put together gas money, eat what we going to eat, everything. To go out there for people who just want to, I wanted to say it like they going to say it. People who just want to find some hoes and find the loud and have a good time. That's the people we out there for. The whole thing we doing, passing out flyers. Brothers is going out passing out flyers to niggas who don't give a damn about the Lord. Right? On that level, yes, brotherhood has to be the same way. But when it comes to if a nigga on the street or a nigga in the world asks me to borrow $5 and a nigga in the truth is going to get the $5 quicker. It's not equality. I don't care. What? I don't even know you like that, bro. And this could be a nigga I knew 20 years. I'm going to give it to Racom. Do that mean I trust Racom? Playing class out. No, I don't mean I trust Racom. I trust him more than the nigga in the world. He's at least fighting his damn demons. That nigga in the world, he ran off on the plug twice. I'm going to be the third nigga he ran off on this week. You understand what I'm saying? You got to have it. Here's the precept to it. Hold on. You got your scripture? You got a Bible with you?
Yeah, it's a piece of Bible. It's not my original. But.
Nah, you got Romans chapter 5. Give me Romans chapter 5 real quick. Let me know if you need another brother to read, because I know you coming from the class of slavery or wherever you was at. You can read?
Yeah, I got my small Bible.
I don't care which Bible you got. They should all be the same. Is it King James Version? All right. Give me verse 7. Romans chapter 5, verse 7.
Romans chapter 5, verse 7. For scarcely for a righteous man will one die, yet peradventure for a good man some would even dare to die.
Stop right there. For scarcely for a righteous man would one die, right? Most people would not even die for somebody they love that they consider to be righteous. You very seldom gonna find somebody willing to give their life for even a person that's righteous. Think about that for a minute, right? Yet, pre-adventure, for a good man, some would even dare to die. Meaning it's the same thing. It's just saying even less than that. When people die for somebody they don't even think righteous, he just a good dude. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean you're willing to give your life for him. Go to the next verse.
But God commanded his love toward us in that while we were yet sinners.
While we were in the truth? It say while we were in the truth?
While we were yet sinners.
While we were yet sinners, what happened? Read.
Christ died for us.
Ain't that something? Ain't that something? We was terrible. We didn't even deserve it. We wasn't righteous men. We wasn't good men. We wasn't good sisters. We wasn't righteous sisters. And Christ died for us. I mean, is that too much to ask for you to show a nigga in the world some brotherhood? We had some homeless people. They were sitting at the park where we had our cookout at, under the pavilion. They lived there. They moved out the way for us to have our joint. And we would have took them big plates like they have never seen in their lives. Big, good food. You know what I'm saying? They ain't have to move for us. They live there. They there every week. We over there cleaning up and doing all this other stuff to try to make it great for the people that's going to come sit down and have a good time with us. And, you know what I'm saying? Because of their grace, we showed them some love back, to show them what brotherhood is all about. You understand what I'm saying? It's all the time. People in the world, you know what I'm saying? I might hold a door for a brother. Nigga like, damn, that's kind of cool. Brotherhood a door for. He could have been a nigga. Some things you gonna do for people, you do it out of the spirit of Christ. And Christ, when you didn't even deserve it, gave his life for you. Can you do something to look out for a nigga that's in the world? Absolutely. But no, is it not the same as the way you would treat a brother that's in the truth. Unless you want to get burned. Unless you want to get burned. I might let a nigga in the truth come and stay the night over my house or something, sleep around, chill, be around my kids, be around my wife. No, I'm not going to do the same thing for a brother in the world. I don't trust him. You understand, right? I'm going to give you your plate outside. I'm going to let you keep it going out. Here's what you can do. There's a difference. You understand? BLACKWATCH, did I answer your question out? All right. And with that, pass the class over to Priest and Officer YAHANNA.
Wakhan. The I.S.U.P.K started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We've been out the truth of the Bible since 1969. We're currently in the Commander General YAHANNA. I.S.U.P.K security announcements. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. The teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, which you can find in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, as well as Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. I.S.U.P.K means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny or increase the Most High gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest Fund, which is a free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations will be the Feast of Purim, which is held the 14th and 15th day of the 12th month, which is Thursday, February 25th. Beginning at sundown and will end February 26, 2021. You can find the story of the Feast of Purim in Esther chapter 9, verses 20 through 31. If anyone wants to become a trooper in the class, he needs to start wearing all black. That's boots, shirts, pants, headbands, scarves, everything, all black. Even when you're online, on the phone in class. All right, we're going to send up the Lord's Prayer, first in the Hebrew, then in the English. Make sure your phone's on mute. Imagine, which means to stand. Upon Hakwadam, which means to turn and face the east. Repeat after me. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Wadash.
Wadash.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Shimka.
Shimka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakwaka.
Malakwaka.
Taba'a.
Taba'a.
Watazaka.
Watazaka.
Hayah.
Hayah.
I.S.U.P.K.
I.S.U.P.K.
Barataza.
Barataza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Bashamayim.
Bashamayim.
Nathalanaw.
Nathalanaw.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Ka.
Ka.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalakanaw.
Wasalakanaw.
Kabawaknaw.
Kabawaknaw.
Kasalaknaw.
Kasalaknaw.
Kabawakyanaw.
Kabawakyanaw.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Tabi'ayanaw.
Tabi'ayanaw.
Banasayawan.
Banasayawan.
Babal.
Babal.
Hawashayanaw.
Hawashayanaw.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Ra.
Ra.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Hamalakwa.
Hamalakwa.
Ha'ala.
Ha'ala.
Ha'kapara.
Ha'kapara.
Iwalamyam.
Iwalamyam.
Aman.
Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. Forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Yali Matah, which means hands down. Sar, which means to turn. Sisters may be seated. Men of Israel, take your phones off of mute. We're going to set up a courtesy salute to the teacher of the class. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahshua Barakatah,
Yahweh Hashem, Yahshua Barakatah.
Yada Matah. What we said in the English was Most High, the name